ever wondered, or let me rephrase this, what if everything you ate, everything you wore, came from a 100-mile radius from your home, or 160 kilometers? No big box stores, no global supply chains, just what's near to you today. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Many of you who've been following me know that I've been following or working through a 100-mile life in 100 days. I'm about halfway through. That's exciting. Hi, my name is Doll from Doll Can Create. You can too. And I'm challenging myself to live as locally as possible. That means sourcing my food, my fiber, my everyday essentials within 100 miles or 160 kilometers of where I live. Now, I have to remind myself that a lot of that space is part of Lake Ontario and part of Lake Erie, where maybe if I was buying fish, but I just finished unpacking a locally sourced produce delivery. I'm very, very pleased with them. They're called Eat Impact, and I ordered their local box. So, excuse me. What did I get today? I got apples, potatoes, greenhouse tomatoes, hydroponic lettuce, mushrooms, onions, carrots. So what wasn't 100 mile? What did I choose outside of that? I got 2 avocados, and I also got blueberries from Chile. Yeah, I think those are the only 2 things that were not part of the local. And it'd been a while since I'd had avocado, and I wanted to replace one of the items, which was cabbage, and I don't need any more cabbage. Oh, and carrots, although I didn't need any more carrots. So I think I'm going to have to postpone it for next week and just get it the week after that. But it's a good looking box. Good looking box. Lots of tomatoes, lots of potatoes, everything we need and more for the next week. So I'm really, really happy with that. So practical ways of living locally. So you buy from local farmers, farm markets, right? Farmers markets, direct farm sales, community farm sources, the CSA boxes. You can cook seasonally. So only cook what you can get now and only eat what you can get now. Or when the produce is ripe and overflowing, that's the time to do your canning and making jams and getting stuff in the freezer. Whatever it is that inspire your meals. Don't process food that you're not going to use, right? Don't buy food you're not going to use. Don't buy food that the family doesn't like. That's kind of what you have to keep in mind. Just because it's on sale or just because it's local doesn't mean that you should get it. So we preserve the harvest. We're going to try growing a few things of our own again. We have 2 raised beds, and last year we did successfully grow cucumbers, although we didn't get very many. We grew potatoes, got 1. The soil, I think, was quite impacted, and I didn't trim the bushes the way I could have. The tomatoes, not so good. The marigolds were eaten by the ants, so I've got to get rid of the ants, but we'll figure that out. Another thing you can do is trade and barter. So for us, we don't have the space to grow zucchini. So a friend of ours grew zucchini, and oh my goodness, didn't we get a lot? Because zucchini's like that, right? And we also got other vegetables from friends as well. And I can exchange homemade bread for vegetables or for farm fresh eggs. I haven't found a farm I can just drop in and get eggs at yet, but that's part of my research right now. You can also trade for locally made things. Like I'm working on my hand spinning, and so maybe get some local honey in exchange for, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of different, there's a lot. There are different things you can do to help with your grocery budget, because you don't have to buy everything. Now, we did receive our milk order today, which was really nice. So you put the milk bottles out the night before in a cooler, and then they deliver them in the morning. And these are from Summit Dairy, and it's delivered weekly. I paid for a year's membership, which is weekly delivery, or I can pause it whenever, like if we're going to be away. And glass bottles, and the milk is all from the same herd. So well maintained. It's a great little farm. We have a free pass to go for a farm visit, so I still want to do that. But that's another thing. So when you're thinking locally, think tourism. What is within your 100-mile radius that you could go and enjoy and see? So last week, being March break and grandchildren were around, we met with family and went to the Royal Botanical Gardens in Hamilton. They have a big display right now of Alice in Wonderland, and it was beautiful. And we didn't have to drive very far. It was 20 minutes down the hill, around the corner kind of thing. So you don't have to spend all your money getting on a plane and going somewhere. Stay local. Make sure that you know where all the good spots are, right? It's all part of this. So what about your clothing and textiles? I'm struggling with this one a little bit. I did need to buy a new bathing suit. Yeah. I'm not making my bathing suit, and I don't want to pick up one at a thrift store. So that was something new. I bought that and some underwear. So excuse me, there are times that has to happen. But my bigger goal is to be buying wool from local farms nearby. And I've talked quite a bit about that. This Sunday in Hamilton, there is, as part of the fiber shed here, they're doing a fiber wool show downtown. So a friend of mine and I are going after church to go have a look. The other thing you can do is, the old saying, mend and make do. So if something's wearing out, mend it, repurpose it. I have, and I've worn it on my videos a lot, a denim dress for summer that is actually wearing thin, and it's really big. Like the shoulders come down. Well, these shoulders are too big too, but they come way down. And I can't just let it go. I want to do something with that. So I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do with it, because it's been such a comfortable dress. And I enjoy the denim. Obviously, I'm wearing a light denim shirt right now. So I do have my notes here. So if I'm looking down, that's why. I'm going to be doing much more natural dyeing. Onion skins, acorns, flowers from the backyard. Dandelions will be out soon. So we'll see how that goes. And also you can find local makers, people who are weavers, seamstresses, artisans, making clothes close to home. So I'm hoping to look into that a little bit. I don't need a lot of clothing. I go with the 333, so 33 garments for 3 months. Minimal wardrobe. I stick with a color palette that I enjoy. So I'm not buying clothes a lot. I don't need to buy clothes a lot. But I'm going to go back to making my own. So I'm still knitting socks because I had to get rid of 2 pair. They felted so badly I couldn't get them on my foot. 1 pair I'm using as dust rags. The other pair just went out. Another pair I had to get rid of because they'd been darned so often it just wasn't worth fixing anymore. So that definitely happens. I can make shawls for myself. I can knit hats and scarves. The simple things. What do I want to do? I would like to weave enough fabric to make myself a vest. So that's on my wish list and my to-do list. And I do have some, I'm not going to say recycled, but gifted to me fabrics, and some of that I want to use for summer skirts and maybe a summer top. Not that I need tops, but summer skirts would be really nice. Maybe even an apron. I have a couple of aprons, but an apron would be kind of nice. So what else are we doing in the 100-mile life? Well, we're looking at how we live in our homes and how we can reduce waste, reduce, reuse, recycle. So we do recycle a lot. I will be looking for people locally who do candle making, cleaning products. One of the people who attend Nick's writers group is making homemade laundry detergent. So I have a sample. I'm going to try it. But that's one way to support the local people around you, local craftsmen who can make things. There's lots of ways, right? But also, in a 100-mile life, you want to be building community and connection, right? You need this. You need to get to know the craftspeople, the farmers, the small businesses that help make the journey even better. And it's like, oh, I can't get this because it's not local. And right now, of course, in Canada, we are avoiding purchasing anything from the US. And it's not as easy as it might sound. But I think it will get easier as the Canadian producers realize that there is a growing market for what they're producing. But I started this 100-mile thing before all of that happened, before the tariffs and all the nonsense. And I'm not going to get into the politics. But so as you build community with one another, you share that information. Guess what I found? And it gets really exciting because you found something local, right? So I'm going to pick this up and show you my African violet. Isn't she pretty? There's 3 different ones in there. And these are all propagated in Ontario, not far from here, purchased at a local greenhouse. And I just love it. I absolutely love it. I would say most of the plants in my house have come from locally grown in greenhouses. So just to beautify. And if you're looking for a change in your home, why not go to the thrift stops? Go to Habitat for Humanity or their Restore. There's a lot of different ones out there that support the community. But say, for instance, I have space here in this room. This is our living space. And I want to put a sewing table in there so that I can get my sewing machine set up so that it's not out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. But I'm not going to buy a new one. I'd like to buy a new one, but I'm not going to. I'm going to buy it through a thrift or a yard sale or whatever. And a yard sale is another way to look and see what people are sharing. Excuse me. The other part of this is that you don't have to feel all woe is me. So I set it out right when I started. I'm still going to be buying bananas because there's something in the banana that is good for me and good for Nick. There are a few things like our coffee that once I'm out of my stock, I will be buying locally from a local coffee roaster because coffee beans don't grow here, right? But he does roast them and he's up not far from where I live. So I have that. And I'm trying to find an alternative to G0. So if you've watched this far in the video and you can give me some ideas about that, please do let me know because we go through quite a bit of it and I really like it. There's no sugar, but it does give me the minerals, the salts that I like and the flavors that I like. So that's one of the things that I'm still buying that I wish I hadn't bought. Another thing that I purchased were skeins of sock yarn to dye. So I'm dyeing them here at home. I'm putting them up on Etsy and on Facebook and anywhere I can. Some of them will be naturally dyed. Some are dyed with food coloring. And I'm stepping into acid dyes, but I'm not liking that so much. So I think I'll probably keep with the food grade dyes. Again, they're not local, but they're colorful. Natural dyes don't necessarily give you that full bright color that sometimes people are looking for. So, and I'm purchasing the sock yarn from a company within the 100 miles who brings in materials from New Zealand. So definitely not 100 mile. But I'm still processing my own wool. I still have wool here that I purchased last fall that it's washed, so we're opening it up and I'm still spinning. So, and I'm working on a Lenten blanket that's all done with hand spun, much of which has just been in my stash. I have a large stash to go through before I buy anything more. So, I'm keeping the budget in mind as well. All of our dairy is local, all of it. Basically, we have a lot of dairy products that are close to us here, which is wonderful. I want to remind us all that this is not about restrictions. This is about discovering the abundance in our own backyard. When we live locally and we're more intentional, we become more connected and things become more sustainable for us. It's your turn. I'd love to hear from you. What's one way that you can start living more locally? Start today. Start small. Drop a comment down below. Let me know where you're starting, where, if at all. And if it's only Canadian products, I'd like to hear about that. If it's local products to you, I'd love to hear about that. And how much of this is it going to be food, clothing, household, community? What area will you like to jump into the most? We learn traditional skills. We can learn how to make our own bread, our sourdough, so that we're not buying yeast. We can find places that mill flour within our 100-mile radius. Actually, I think there's 2 mills that I know of for sure, if not 3. But also knowing that flour sold in our local grocery stores is all Canadian flour. It's all from Canadian wheat, high protein, 13%. So anyway, that's a big overview of kind of where I am now in this journey and where we could be going next. If you'd like to hear more, subscribe, save, share with your friends. Let's build a community around living locally. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you have a wonderful day. We're little more than halfway through Lent come Sunday. It's spring. The robins are singing. I haven't seen one, but they're singing. The snow's gone, although we're going to get more next week. Anyway, that's okay too. My next video that I will be sharing with you will be a rocking chair knit and chat. So maybe I'll be spinning, maybe I'll be knitting, but we'll be chatting. It'll be very informal. But I hope that this video has been informative and inspiring for you. May God bless you on your journey. Again, this is Doll from Doll Can Create. Until next time, God bless.